Next, it gives me great pleasure to introduce Allie Jones, who will share her story of living with Fanconi Anemia and having a second chance at life. She's in the process of writing a book about her experience called Structured Love, which is expected to come out this summer, and we'll read an excerpt from it today. Allie?
Good afternoon, and thank you for that warm welcoming. My name is Allie Jones. I am 28 years old, and I live alone in a studio apartment in Des Moines. I live about 2 hours away from my family. It's not that I don't love them. I just think 2 hours is far enough, but not too far. I would like to start off by thanking Rocket Pharma for inviting me to be a part of something larger than all of us here. This event would not be possible without each one of us. I was invited to share my personal story in connection with Rare Disease Day and a statement from my book that I am currently writing. I hope to inspire others to find their identity outside of their illness. I am here today on behalf of the entire Fanconi Anemia community and anyone who is affected by a rare disease. Most people assume that I do not have memory of my experience with Fanconi anemia because of how young I was. I can promise you, I can recall my entire childhood without prompt. It was all too daunting not to miss the seriousness of my uncharted future at that time. I caught on rather quickly for a 4-year-old. I may have not understood what Fanconi anemia was, and quite frankly, neither did my intelligent RN mother or 90% of the world. What I did understand was this: I was sick, unafraid of my future, and completely over friends and family, acting like I was never coming home. I was 18 months old when I had hand surgery. I was 2 when I was fitted for hearing aids for my moderate to severe hearing loss. I was 3 when I started dance classes, and I was 4 when I was diagnosed with Fanconi anemia in 1995. We learned my counts were low enough to seek immediate care after some preemptive blood tests to see if I had bronchitis at that time. This is the place in the timeline where my brain likes to numb out my own screams from the consequences of the bone marrow biopsies. Anesthesia was not considered due to my size at that time. I remember the day my donor was found. That was a good day. I remember my mom pulling up in the red Nova and nearly forgetting how to park the car. She leaped out of the car and met me standing in the driveway. She hugged me, and with tears in her eyes, she exclaimed, "We found your donor. It's your dad." Everything snowballed from there. My mother unintentionally became emotionally unavailable and more available to the hunt of the best hospital, the best doctor, and all the information she could conjure up on Fanconi anemia. My life went from dance classes, making friends, a 2-story playhouse built in my honor, community fundraisers, being on the cover of our hometown's newspaper, kindergarten teacher meet and greet, Walt Disney World, thanks to the Make-A-Wish Foundation, to hospital walls for the next 6 months. The entire year leading up to hospital check-in was spent through the experience of many hospital visits and late nights of severe bloody noses. My mom was always working alongside of the doctors and nurses throughout my entire journey. Between her knowledge, late nights of research, pioneering approach, and my dad's bone marrow, together they were my heroes. August of 1996, we arrived at the University of Minnesota. Dr. Wagner and his team saved my life. I know that he would humbly deny that statement, but to me it's true. I'm the first person in the world with Fanconi anemia to survive 2 bone marrow transplants. The first one failed in September of '96, and 1 month later, we took a risk, held our breaths, and attempted the second one. Due to full body radiation and chemotherapy, along with the 2 bone marrow transplants, I did experience complications. I had blood clots in my bladder. The procedure to flush them out was traumatizing. During one of my procedures, they accidentally caused an internal hematoma so badly I could not eat. They administered an NG tube up my nose and down into my stomach. The intention of the NG tube was to suck out liquids from my stomach to allow the hematoma to heal. My big brother loved ordering every drink on the menu from the hospital cafeteria so he could be entertained by the drink coming out of my nose and into the disposable bucket.